Okay, guys, today is volume of a pyramid or a cone, and you'll notice right here we have the formula again. Like the others, we have this uppercase B, all right? And that means that that uppercase B stands for the formula for the area of the base, all right? So we got two figures we're talking about. So that formula will take two forms. If I'm talking about the pyramid, I'm going to use this. The uppercase B is in this case a rectangle down here. The base of this is a rectangle. So I would take the uppercase B out and put in a length times a width of the base. So and then this height is the overall height of the pyramid. If I'm talking about a cone, then I'm going to use this formula. The big B here, the uppercase B, would be taken out, and the formula for a circle, the area of a circle, would be put in there. And then the height is the overall height of the object. Okay, so these are the two equations that I'm using today. Example one looks like this. It's a pyramid, so I'm going to use this first equation. Again, this is a plug in what we give you, and then just solve for the thing that we don't. So we give you the length and the width down here of the base, so I put that in there. And then I have a height of 17, so I put that in there. This is just a case of multiplying all these together. All right, so I'm going to call up my calculator, and we'll bring this down a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to change this to scientific because I have this squared button here. Right here is 30 times 30, so I can just take 30 and square it, so I get 900. I'm going to multiply it by the 17, and I get 15,300, and I'm going to multiply it by a third, and that is the same thing as dividing by 3, so I get 5,100. So this is going to be 5,100. And now my units, since I'm in a volume, it's going to be the units cubed. So this is meters cubed. All right, so there you go. There's example one. Very straightforward. In a minute here, I'll put up checkpoint one. So you want to pause this and try checkpoint one on your own. And then I'll put up the answers for checkpoint one. So here's checkpoint one. Very straightforward again. This one is another rectangle for the bottom, for the base. So I plugged in 25 and 25 for the length and width of the base. Plugged in the 15 there. Uh-oh. All right, get rid of that. And yeah, get rid of that too. Okay, so 25 times 25 times 15 times a third. There's your answer for checkpoint one. So hopefully that wasn't too hard for you. Okay, on to example two. Find the volume of this cone. Since it's a cone, now we start with the same formula. Okay, this is supposed to be a 3 down here, so let me fix that. But the big B, that uppercase B, is going to be replaced with a circle down here for the base. I'm going to replace it with pi r squared for the base because that's the area of a circle. So again, plug in the numbers. We put in that 3.14 for pi. We put in right here. Oh, careful! This is the diameter that they give us here. So I'm going to cut 9.5 in half, and that would be how much? Let's bring up this and let's calculate here. 9.5, and I need to cut it in half. Yeah, there we go, 4.75. So that's going to be 4.75 right there. And I'm going to square that. And my height is 15, so I just plug in a 15 right there. Okay? So now I'm going to bring up my calculator again, and I'm going to do all this math. So I want to do my 4.75 first. And I square it, so I get that. Again, it says to the nearest cubic foot, but don't round until you're all done with your math here. So 4.75 squared, I need to multiply that by 3.14. And I get that big number right there. And I'm going to multiply that by 15. And I get that beautiful number right there. And I'm going to multiply by a third. Again, same thing as dividing by 3. And I get that. So to the nearest cubic foot, that 2 tells me to keep it right where it is. So it's going to be 354. All right. So 354. And we're in a volume. So that is feet cubed. Just like that. Alrighty. So there is the second example. Again, pause it. Give checkpoint 2 a shot, and I'm going to turn that on right now. Alrighty, so here's checkpoint 2. A couple things I just want to point out. Hopefully you got to this answer. I did this in steps this time because I wanted you to see the first thing I did was I squared this 6.5 first, and I got that number, 42.25. Then I multiplied by 3.14, and I got that number. Notice I'm not rounding in the middle of the problem. And then what I did here is I multiplied this 9 times this 1/3. That's where this 3 came from. Okay, notice the number in the parentheses didn't change. Then I'm multiplying these two together, and then I rounded to the nearest cubic centimeter. So there's checkpoint 2. Hopefully that went well for you. If not, go back and fix it. So let's go on to checkpoint or example number 3. Now this is one that uses the sphere. All right, the sphere equation looks like this. It's a little different. It's got a 4/3 there and a pi r cubed. Aha, we've got it right there. Okay, so here's a picture of a sphere. We want to know what is the volume of a sphere with a radius of 8. So I'm going to add to my drawing here. I'm going to say if this is the center, okay, of the sphere, and this is kind of like the back curvature, and this is the front curvature, just give you a little idea of depth, okay? This radius would go from here out to the edge, okay, right there, and that would be 8 centimeters, okay? So I just plug it in, all right? Just take a radius of 8 and plug it right in there. Now be careful that you cube the radius and only the radius first, and then you multiply by the, I guess I could put that 3.14 in right now. Okay, I'll plug that 3.14 in for pi. Bring up my calculator here and clear it out, and I want to take 8 and cube it. Now, if you don't have a cube button, I have this nice little cube button, but if you don't have a cube button, you can just go 8 times 8 times 8. All right, that works. But I have this cube button I can just hit, and I get 512. So we're going to bring that away, and I'm going to put a 512 in here. Oh, I guess I got to bring it right back up again. All right, so 512 multiplied by 3.14 equals that, and then we're going to multiply by 4/3. Now I'm going to do this all at once here. I'm going to say multiply, and I'm going to open up my parentheses, and I'm going to put a 4/3 in just like that. Okay, so I don't have my answer yet. That's 4/3 as a decimal. Okay, that's what my calculator is doing. So I want to hit my equal sign so that I get my final answer. There you go. Okay, so final answer here. Oops, where'd it go? 2143. We'll round this to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to make it 2143.6. 2143.6, and that is going to be a volume, so that is centimeters cubed. Okay, so there you go. There's 3 more formulas that we can use. Now, these examples just plugged in over here. We will do some in class that will ask you to plug in for volume and solve for radius or solve for height, okay? So we'll work on those together if you need help doing that. All right, so hopefully that was quick and easy. Hopefully it went well, and we'll see you tomorrow.